let's get into the next section that we're going to get into, which is what were they thinking? This is where we look at property deals where it seems like people paid too much, where people may have made a mistake and may have bid based on emotion rather than on, good, solid information.
Yeah, exactly. So with this particular property, overall, they didn't spend a huge amount of money. They spent around $8,000, and it has what we like. It has, it's 2.1 acres, so it has size. But there's a blaring red flag that we see right there in the beginning that really can make this lot unusable, at least for any type of real use, buildable, anything like that. You can't put anything on this. You might be able to put a garden, but not much, probably.
Yeah. And that problem is, you can obviously see there are huge power lines, that are there on the property. And what that means is that those power lines are there by virtue of an easement. And so what that basically means is the government is going to have those power lines there. You can't do anything, that will interrupt or that would, that would cause any kind of problem to that. So essentially, you probably couldn't build there or anything like that, because that would impede, their access to it. It really, that easement is the property, because so much of it is covered, by right over, where that line is going. There might be a tiny little section there on the left-hand side of it, where, maybe part of it isn't used, or that might be somewhat usable, but it's not enough of an area there that you would be able to use the property for anything. So fortunately, they didn't spend too much. We've seen properties where they spend way too much at 8,000, but yeah, I don't think you're going to get your money back out of it, because nobody's going to pay for it.
Yeah, in fact, really easements, there's a reason why there's a lot of properties that have easements that go into the tax sale. We see these type of properties all the time that really don't have any potential use. And that's the reason we say when we're looking for property, we need to make sure that it has use and value. In fact, it kind of reminds me, a few years ago, we had somebody call us up in a panic. They weren't a member. They just, started going online and looking and calling any type of tax sale training company, trying to find information, because they had went and they had purchased a property that had had a cell tower on the property. And they had purchased it thinking that they could charge these cell companies.
They did it intentionally.
Yeah, they bought it thinking that they could charge these cell providers money, because now they own the property, not realizing that easement allowed them to do it regardless if they were getting paid. They didn't have to pay them anything. And that's the reason why they let it go to the tax sale. So essentially they spent, what was it, $26,000, if my memory is correct, on a property that had no potential use or value.
Yeah. In fact, really the people that use the easement are really the ones that make out best, because they don't have to own the property and they reserve the right to use it. And so that's really where, if you could somehow get easements work out great, whether it's for access or, like for the electric company, they don't have to own that property, but they still have all the benefits of the easement. And so yeah, easements are a great thing for the people using the easement, but they're not a good thing if you are, buying the real estate.
Yeah.